Hi there, Robin here from Expert On. Today we are going to be talking about this. Now, if you haven't figured out what it is yet, that sign might give it away. It's a BlastKing line array. It's called a PLA1200. It's a 1200 watt actual line array. It's a D-class power amp. And why? Because it actually has a 12-inch subwoofer built in the bottom with 50-ounce magnets placed on the back of it. This thing, just like all of other BlastKing products, is built to throw a lot of energy out of it. Built really well. To match it up on top, they went with 8 2-inch Neodymium full range drivers. It's set up at 16 ohms on top, and from what I can see, it's set up at 4 ohms at the bottom. So all of that's powered by the amp plate in behind. Comes with the pole mount, of course, that we see here built right into the assembly, and the actual array just goes on top of that. Very straightforward setup, weighs roughly about 50 pounds, not made out of plastic. It is about 50 pounds of total weight. True, big, deep bass out of an actual line array. So we're going to take this to the table, have a look at the back side, see what all is going on in it, talk a little bit more about the details and features, and then we're going to give it a little sound test. All right, so here we are at the table. And we're going to talk about this today. I mean, it's a line array. It's awesome. It works out to about half the price of some of the other big popular ones out there right now. So normally I don't, get into pricing because we're going to have accurate pricing down below. You definitely want to take a look at the link to get it right. But it's about half the price of what you're going to see when you're looking at an Evolve 30, almost a third the price of an Evolve 50, or half the price of a JBL Eon, and definitely half the price of a Bose L, that sort of thing. But the big difference is power. We're going to throw a ton of power with this system. That's why we're looking at it. We're looking at it for reliability, dependability, and we're also looking at it for the basics. Normally you wouldn't use a line array for DJing, but if you're doing a lot of small weddings and you're looking for an easier setup to carry around, something that you don't have to pick up 50-pound speaker and put it on top of a tripod, this could probably be a really good way for you to go. It's like buying 12-inch subwoofers, but with an actual system that's designed with the 8 neodymium drivers on top to project really well in the whole space. So that's probably the biggest reason why you're going to buy it. Now, I would use it again, if a small band, if you're playing rock or hard country, that sort of thing. I mean, anything out there that you really want to kick up the bass. Because this isn't, and I'm telling you now, it's not an FR. It's not a full frequency flat response. They are trying to give you more out of this speaker. They're trying to make you or your music sound bigger and better. So if you're buying this for classical or jazz, maybe not your first choice. But if you're buying it for hip hop, dance, techno, house, anything like that, and you're going, I really, really want to get a line array, and I don't want to bust the bank, but I still want reliability and dependability, this is going to be a system that you're really going to want to listen to, and you're probably going to decide this is the one for me. So it is available in Canada, it is available in the US, and soon it should be available on Amazon. Again, that link will be down below. What do we get with the box? Well, we get a 12-inch BlastKing driver, a subwoofer down here, and it's got a 50-ounce magnet on it with a huge amount of throw on it. Think car audio, but even better than that. The box is completely designed and engineered to go with this sub package in it, and they've actually put a little bit of finesse into it because they did put an access panel on the top, and when you buy one of these, you're going to realize that your power cable and your speaker cable, along with the pole and the array, is all inside the actual unit. So we'll have a video showing how that goes in there. It does add a couple extra minutes on to actually unpacking it, but instead of having to carry around a bag or have anything like that to worry about, it's all ready to go. Now, that being said, it does come with an Allen key, so if you do choose to have everything inside, do not lose the Allen key, or in other words, change the screws that came with it for something you can easily access with, a dime in your pocket so you can get your stuff out in case you misplace something. So, that being said, back to the actual unit. Not plastic, like I said earlier, it's all MDF. MDF gives us the density that we want to have and the rigidity. The whole thing is very, very solid. Now, the finish on it It's kind of like a Rhino style liner on it. It's a spray texture. It seals the entire box. You can tell because you can actually see inside the box. The unit was sprayed before the drivers and the handles and everything was assembled on it. So that means that it's going to be very hard for moisture to get in there, or if it accidentally rains because you're doing an outdoor event. But that being said, remember it's MDF. We don't want to get it wet. If it gets wet, we do want to dry it up. We don't want to leave it out overnight in the rain. That is for sure, for sure. But here we've got a system that's easy enough to carry. I weighed it 44 pounds here. You've got another 6 pounds here, and then the rest of your stuff's going to weigh about another 6 pounds for the pole, the cables, and all that kind of stuff. Not too hard. If you really wanted to, you could put wheels on the back side of it. It is doable. So let's take a look-see at what we get. 2 handles, recessed on both sides, all plastic, all sealed in. So this way, and it's steel bracketed right across here. We get to the back. Internally, when you look through the top, because you have access to the top, you're going to realize as well there's a full aluminum die-cast molded basket that the amp plate gets attached to. So this way, it acts as its own sealed compartment. So there's no way anything's going to happen internally to the unit when it comes to the amp plate. D-class power amp. It's got 1200 watts total power to it. That's not peak, that's their RMS rating that they have for the whole thing. Remember, 2.5-inch voice coil on that 12-inch driver in the front. And also, it's got the 8 Neodymium drivers. They're all 2-inch. Amazing how they're full range. That just fills an entire space. Because they're all lined up together, the projection distance is awesome. This has a good, comfortable projection distance. You're going to get 80% of the dB volume levels, 24 to 36 feet away. So you can use it for announcements. You can use it for playing in a band, like I said, and you can also use it for DJing. Again, main speakers being big and proper should be first and foremost, but so many people are having weight issues. Mounting and setting up that line arrays are becoming more and more popular. If you're doing big shows, you need big equipment. But if you're doing weddings where there's only going to be 50 people on a dance floor and about 200 people in a room, there's nothing wrong with this, that's for sure. The frequency range is really good, better than some tops alone. You've got, because it's got a sub in the front, you got 38 hertz at the bottom end all the way up to 20 kilohertz. So 38 hertz on the bottom end, which is really good. I mean, you drop below 40. So you're down to 38 all the way up to 20 kilohertz. Max SLP for the dB ratings, 131. Yes, I do have to write these things down to remember them sometimes. But now for the features on the back. I saved that part for last because if I was using this as a DJ, I'm going to be plugging this in my controller. If I'm in a band, I really want to plug this into a mixer. There's not much going on for options when it comes to the back. Outside of, it has a single line input which can be switched from mic or line input. So you have an XLR and a 1/4 inch, then you have a button that says mic or line on it, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that. Then we have a mixed line out, and we also have some RCA input jacks as well. Let's take a close look. Is there anything else that I'm missing there? No, that pretty much covers it. There is, on the gain control for the main volume out here, on top of it, there is a flat or boosted button, which can also be called contour. So this way, it just kind of gives us an extra push on the bottom end and an extra clarity in the top end. That's used when we don't have a lot of volume going through it, or we're not going to be controlling it from a controller or anything where we're going to be able to EQ and do that kind of stuff. Hit that button and you're all good. It also has, of course, the power switch at the bottom and a fuse located right here. Plus, it works anywhere between 110 to 220 just by using the switch behind the glass window. Don't play with that if you're in North America. If you order this and it goes overseas, well, of course, make sure you put it in the right setting for you. That being said, that pretty much covers everything here. There are 3 lights, which are basically your power indicator, your signal indicator, and your clipping. This on top is the speak on connection, which is right here for the cable. Speak on's always best. You never short out your connection. It goes in and locks in place. That's it. Same thing on the back of the speaker. So again, because it's a power system, everything's built internally to be this particular package. So you're going to get the best of everything that you can out of this amp plate. It's all designed and engineered to be a package. It's not a generic amp plate, it's a specific amp plate built for this line array. So you do get proper separation because the top is set at 16 ohms. And if I'm not mistaken, the driver, like I said earlier, is set at 4 ohms. So easy, quick flow to go here. Tighter, sharper on top to manage all the sound distribution. So what we'll do now is we'll take it in the back, take a listen to it. I don't have a problem doing that. I think it sounds pretty awesome. It is a little hard to mic line arrays, so we'll probably end up with, well, 2 or maybe 3 mics on it to get it to work proper. See you there. All right, so just before we actually do sound test on it, well, let's put it together. So if your plans are to actually put everything away every time you use it, well, everything will be inside of here and you will need to have this Allen key. Again, I would recommend changing these screws for something that you can probably take apart with a dime. So if we time this, we'll say it starts now, and the first thing I'm going to do is loosen out the screws, and hopefully I can take these screws off with my fingers. Now I've only put this thing together once, which was about 3 weeks ago when we received it with our first stock shipment of the line arrays. Now we've been playing it like crazy ever since and showing it to everybody, and everybody absolutely loves it. But we all have to agree that these screws here can long-term cause a problem if you keep relying on this Allen key. So again, changing the screws. Now, at the same time, you may decide to get a pouch for it, just to carry all the accessories that are inside of here. If you're trying to lighten the load, maybe that's one way to do it, because you will drop about 10, 12 pounds by actually taking all the accessories out of this actual unit and then carrying them in a little bag or something with your mixer, that sort of thing. If there's other stuff you got to carry around with you. Now the poles are threaded. They're threaded on the bottom of the line array, and they're threaded into the actual base module. So there we go, 4 screws off. The lid with the instructions right there. We're going to put that down here for now. I did learn that you have to put in and take out the actual line array. Put it in the box last. Take it out first, so this way you can get the pole and all of that out. And again, here's our pole, adjustable height. We can get full height out of it, no problem. That's our power cord and our XLR cable. Screw this guy back down to here right away, no problem. Give it a little snug there. Bring this guy up just a wee bit. Get everything out of the way, loosen it up. Get this to an appropriate height first, just to make it easy to screw everything together. Tighten this down a little bit. There we go. Snug, finger tight, that's all we're really looking for. Then we can actually take the unit on top, find the spot. Now there are lots of new line arrays that do have, interlocking connections, quick, straightforward. Slap a pole in a hole, all the wire connections are made for you, everything's nice and easy. There's lots of companies that are like this as well. I do like the quick connects, but they have to be good quality quick connects, or else you can just end up with problems after owning it for like 6 months. So there you go. Everything's lined up. Everything's good. Take the speak on. Connect. Connect. That's all done. Power cord in the back. Plugging that in. And this is how, by the way, you get good access to seeing what's going on inside. We do have to return this guy back in, so that adds time on. So again, if you had some twist turns or something like that, flathead screws or something, maybe something with a butterfly. If we find an alternative, we'll come back to it and we'll let you know what we find. Get the third one snug, and then we'll get the last one and we'll be all set, ready to go. Now this is adjustable in height, so if you're doing a small presentation, you can have it set down low, or maybe if it's on top of the stage. But if you're going to set it up for a large crowd that's going to be dancing in front of it, you can go max height on the thing all the way up to the top. So there we go. we're only about, 2/3 of the way up. I can get this guy all the way above my head, which is how we're going to set it up in the back. So off to the back we go. All right, so we have it all set up. This is the BlastKing PLA12. Now, what do we got? 1200 watts, D-class power amp, 8 2-inch Neodymium drivers up on top, plus the 12-inch subwoofer at the bottom. We've mic'd the actual sub independently from the top, and we also have a condenser microphone set up over here for the dynamics of the room to pick up the overall sound. That being said, it's always better live when you actually go out and listen to one of these versus having it all mic'd up and brought to you via a mixer and all that onto the camera. So, but as my opinion goes, subwoofer can never go wrong. The top is bounced off really well with the bottom. You are going to need a mixer. Doesn't matter if you're doing this for a presentation, if you're doing it as DJing, if you're using it for karaoke, if you're indoor or outdoor. It's a great, powerful system, and you're really going to enjoy having it. But you definitely want to have this with a mixer. All right, well, you get to listen to a few more songs that we're going to demo on here. Remember, it's always better to listen to it live than to hear it on YouTube. But you know what? If you don't have a choice, take my word for it. 12-inch subwoofer is awesome. The 8 Neodymium drivers on top does a perfect job balancing off the sound, and it's really fun. Remember to always get this with a mixer if you don't have one already. Doesn't matter how you're going to use it. Regardless if you're going to be using it for presentations in a showroom or a corporate event, or if you're using it for DJing or, anything else, maybe karaoke, because this would be like awesome to have for a karaoke system. That would be for sure. It works in bars and pubs. No worries there. You can even use this in a church. Why not? It's always a good idea to have something easy to set up and easy to tear down all the time. You'll find all the links down below for this here in Canada and in the US. As soon as we have it available on Amazon, we'll also have our Amazon links down below. And thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the bell if you really want to find out when the next video is. We do Q&As, that kind of stuff. And I do read the comments and questions, and we try and get through them as quickly as we can. Remember, we do get a lot of them. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video, and bye for now.